The Dunu Vulcan 2. What, you expecting me to say something witty right now? Let's begin. Welcome back, audiophiles. It's me, your boy Joe, back again with another video, and this time we'll be looking at the Dunu Vulcan 2. Now, Dunu is a brand which I love a lot just because of its packaging and accessories. You can't, I repeat, you can't beat Dunu when it comes to the accessories that they offer in every one of their lineups for that matter. And the Dunu Vulcan 2 is actually no different to that, and it's actually giving what it promises. So, quick disclaimer, the Dunu Vulcan 2 is given to me by my good friend Sushi, who is from Sushii-Fi. Do check out his channel down at the link below and tell him that I said hi. As usual, all thoughts and opinions are my own and no biases in any way. The Dunu Vulcan is a hybrid IEM featuring 2 dynamic drivers and 6 balanced armatures. This is going to set you back close to $330 as of their website. Timestamps are given below so you can check whichever section you want in this particular review. Enough said about the Dunu Vulcan, it's time to get to the unboxing. Okay, so let's begin unboxing the Dunu Vulcan 2. You could see that it's written Vulcan with the Dunu branding, some logos here, running around it. You can see some specs written in here. We have the impedance, the sensitivity, and lots of other stuff. Let's get this open. Dunu is always known for their great sets of accessories and whatnot that's present inside. Let's get this open. Alright, so we're greeted with the Vulcan firsthand. You can see the beautiful shells in here, lined up with good foam, so good packaging, and the accessory box itself. And we have the pouch. A very large, nice pouch that could store the IEMs as well as jacks and the sorts. So as you can see, we have a 4.4 jack, so that means we have interchangeable plug points. Let's get these guys out. So as you can see, they already come with S&S tips pre-installed, and here's the IEM. Cable is really good. And we have a 3.5 mm termination, which we could also switch to a 4.4, as you can see there. The shells themselves are really pretty. It's nice. It has this kind of metallic look to it. It's CNC aluminum with some vents as well. And this is the right side, so we can see that bright red color lining for that marking. Nice and neat. Let's see the accessories. Wow, a lot of accessories present in here. So this is a cleaning cloth for the Dunu Vulcan 2. And we have a warranty card. We have this is the 1/4-inch jack, as well as the cleaning brush. We have another card in here. So this one is probably, this one is steps on how to use the Q-lock function of it. This is probably the same thing, but in another language. Yep. Same sets there. A lot of instructions in here. And here are the main boys. We have not 1, not 2, but 3 different sets of ear tips. In fact, you can even count it 4 if you add the silicone ear tips. So we have so as you can see, we have the Dunu Reds, we have the Dunu Candies, we have the standard silicone, and we have the S&S ear tips. So a lot of ear tips to choose from. Here's another look at the IEMs themselves. Really beautiful shells. And that's pretty much it. So as you can see with the unboxing, Dunu went all out again. They have given not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 different pairs of ear tips. That's insane. And as usual, the best one for me is the Dunu Candy. I will show you photos of the Dunu Candy, but that's the one that I always pick when it comes to Dunu because it has that perfect fit and that perfect kind of seal whenever you're using it. People do go for the S&S. That is something that is in Dunu's lineup, but frankly, I'm not into the whole S&S thing. I just find it a bit cumbersome and it's not that comfortable for me to use. Another very good favorite is the Dunu usual red colors. This one gives a good bass response overall and it's a very nice seal. But for me, Dunu candies, if it's available, easy pick for me any day. So there's no way in saying that you don't have the ear tip that fits right for you. Dunu will have you covered with all the ear tips you need so you could test and try each one of them. And now I'm finally moving on to the IEMs themselves. I got sidetracked with the ear tips because I really like them a lot. As you can see, it comes in this beautiful case, which is huge. In fact, too huge to hold the IEMs themselves. And it even has a little pouch inside to store whatever you need. There's plenty of space so you can put your DAC and the earphones in just fine. And let's look at the earphones themselves. As you could see, the earphones comes in this beautiful shell, which has that kind of rose gold-esque feel to it. So these shells are made out of CNC milled aluminium. They look really beautiful. They have that stylish design elements to it. It has Vulkan written on it, and it has a vent, as I could see on the faceplate as well. Whether that translates to the actual sounds being open and airy or not, we'll see in the sound impressions. But as of now, the shell is really good. It's really smooth. It has a kind of ergonomic feel to it. The nozzle is a good thickness, so that is why it can hold the ear tips really well. And from those shells, we are having a do-pin connection, which then goes to the cable. And this cable is a really nice cable. I say that the cable is excellent in the Dunu Vulcan 2. It comes in this nice, neat, double braided, which is connected to a very good chin slider that stays in place. My only nitpick is that this chin slider is a very generic acrylic type of chin slider. They could have went with something that matches with the overall vibe, but at least there's a chin slider and it works really well. And from that, we have a voice split, which is having the Dunu branding, which then goes to this very nice braided cable again, and then finishing off at a modular termination, which is also having a Q-lock, which is something that you have to unscrew, pull it out, and screw back in. That is excellent in terms of design because I find that it stays really well in place. It's not going to go yanking off and it's not going to damage the particular pins either. So it is much more better than friction-based plugs, which is in most other earphones, which is even at a higher price point at this stage. So enough said about the design. It's time to go for the fit test. So fit wise, it's really good for me. I'm getting a really good seal. The Dunu candies, excellent. And chin slider works really well. This one's the right side. And this one's the left side. I was able to wear this for long hours, no issues at all, no qualms whatsoever, no pressure buildup as well for that matter. Another good point to note is that it's kind of flush with your ear, so you're able to even lie down and wear this, and that's also pretty much fine. Although I don't recommend you lie down with this because it's a bit chonky, so if you do tend to lie down, it's fine in the long run, but then it starts to dig inside your ear. So I would not recommend lying down with these earphones, but hey, for listening purposes, all well and perfect, and it's pretty much ergonomic in that sense. Alright, so with the IEMs plugged in, it's time to move on to the sound impressions. So with regards to the Dunu Vulcan 2, as I said before, it is a hybrid-based IM. It has a dual dynamic driver and 6 balanced armatures. So it does have a specific driver for each of the frequencies. It has an impedance of 35 ohms and 113 dB of sensitivity. So with those numbers, you could pretty much run it off on any of your devices. Although, as usual, the better the device output, then the better the gain that you get from the Dunu Vulcan 2. And you get more open sound staging. So if you do run it off a simple device like straight out of your phone, you would get audio, but in the sense your audio will start to feel a little bit tinny. So with all that said, let's move on to the frequency response graph of the Dunu Vulcan 2. So as you can see here, based upon the Harman target, the frequency response graph, the Dunu is having a little bit of a lesser bass, which then kind of digs a little bit down, moves to a very clean sense of mids, and then a little bit of treble, and then moves down as well. So this is a kind of mellow based listening, I would say. So this particular lesser bass does translate to a sense of lesser sub bass, but it is a kind of bass that is tastefully done. It is having a good bass texture, but I would say that the bass itself is on the lower side, so it's more towards neutral. And since it has a kind of bass scoop, I do see that the bass slam is a little bit affected in that sense. The mids are pretty good. I would really say that the mids are very clean in the Dunu Vulcan 2. I feel that the vocals are coming forward, and in the vocal vocals are starting to be very clean, but the vocals themselves don't pop out that much. As you could see, that it's even more subtle in that sense. But the vocals are clean. You do hear more of the nuances of the vocals, which then moves up to a good treble response and air overall. I do not find that the Dunu Vulcan 2 to be sharp or harsh in any way. It's of course once again an IEM that you can crack up the volume to a good sense to hear it better. But in the overall, the bass itself is a little low to my particular taste, and the treble response is good, and it has very clear treble overall. That is something that I'm not going to be complaining about. I do like the kind of treble response in here. It has a little bit of sparkle, which I do prefer and like. And the vocals are a little bit not as forward as I would imagine it to be, but it's clear nonetheless. So, with all that said, let's move on to some songs and then get back to you. Okay, so as for the song impressions, as usual, the songs that I'll be listening to, I'm going to be making a playlist out of them and giving you a link down in the description below so you could check out the songs that I'm also listening to. So the first song that we're going to look at is Enemy by Imagine Dragons and JID with the League of Legends. Once again, yay. So in this one, I would say there is a very good bass line that is there, very good, very thumpy bass line that is present all throughout the song. And that is not being reflected in the Vulcan 2 apparently. The Vulcan 2 has a controlled bass. It's well controlled and tastefully done, but the sub bass rumble is not there to the extent that I would appreciate it. It's actually quite interesting that when I do increase the volume a lot, I get different instruments that I don't notice before when I used to be listening to this particular song. Namely, there will be a guitar that goes tunk, 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 there'll be a very periodic guitar string that is being lifted higher than all the other instruments for some reason. So I don't call this IEM as something of an all-rounder, so that it is something that is not fitting this particular genre of music. The male vocals is not forward, actually. The male vocals is a bit behind, and those guitars are the ones which are forward in this case, especially with the rap part. In the rap part, usually he'll be the one in front, but then now while he's singing, the particular guitar that I was telling you about is at front. So mixing all over the place, but overall, it's a bit of a mixed bag in this case. I do like the song. The song is excellent. It's done okay in the Dunu Vulcan. I would give it that the song clarity is there and the vocals are clear, but the placements of each of the instruments and whatnot, they are kind of different to what I imagine it to be. So the next one that we're going to look at is Englishman in New York by Sting and the Police. This one is actually a stark difference to the first song that I was listening to. Englishman in New York is a timeless song. It's made out in God knows what. I put the year of release in here. But then it's excellent. It's a very mellow soundtrack overall. So you don't have to expect any instrument to come forward or backward in here. There is a very good saxophone that'll be playing in here that is simply amazing. Chef's kiss for that. And this is actually rendered very well in the Vulcan 2, because in here the bass line is something from a cello and it is done very well. It is not meant to be overpowering anything, so it's tastefully done. I could feel the cello's rhythm and its bass line present all throughout the song with the Vulcan 2 in fact. And in here the vocals are not meant to be forward. Sting's vocals used to be actually behind his instruments in this case, and when he sings, the other instruments do calm down on its own, so you don't have to feel it. And in that, I see that the Vulcan 2 really did it well. I feel his rhythm, I feel the vocal, and especially the saxophone and the strings that comes with it, the violins, they are done so well in the Vulcan 2. I really liked how it all gives that enveloping sensation. So the soundstage is really good in the Vulcan 2, by the way. It gives a very good soundstage. Maybe I could give credit to the particular events in here, maybe not, but overall, I really liked how that soundstage was giving that enveloping. So it's excellent for me. I really enjoyed how the song is, and it's rendered really well with the Vulcan 2. Okay, for the next soundtrack, we're actually going to go for a Tamil song, and this one is Enjoy Enjami by Dhee, Arivu, and Santosh Narayanan. Now, this is actually something I picked because it's having female vocals and there are lesser instruments in this case, so the female vocals is more on the focus, and there is some male vocals that also comes in this song. It's done really well in the Vulcan, I would say. It's giving more importance to the female vocals, very, very clear. Male vocals also comes in, but as usual, the male vocal is taking a step back in this case, but the female vocals is crystal clear in this sense. Bassline, once again, it's a tastefully done bassline, so you don't have to expect the bass to be thumping or anything. It is something that you hear, but more importance is given to the female vocals, and that is something that is really nice with the Vulcan 2. I liked how these vocals are very clear, very nice, well detailed, and there'll be a male vocal that comes in every now and then. And since this particular male vocal is a little bit high pitched male vocal, overall I really did enjoy how the placement of the instruments went in this case. It is something that is helping female vocals to be uplifted and giving the instruments more importance around the female vocals with a tasteful bass. That's how I see the Vulcan 2 being shown. It's doing it really well. It's very good in terms of this song. Very nice song. You could try listening to it. Rendered very well with the Vulcan 2. Okay, so what is my overall for the Dunu Vulcan 2? Well, first and foremost, it's super comfortable. It has really good accessories going for it. The cable is excellent. The shells themselves is in a good shape. And once again, ear tips, amazing ear tips as usual. And in terms of drivability, I would say that the Dunu Vulcan 2 is driven pretty well. I was using the Muse M5 Ultra for my listening experience and found it to be really good in that sense as well. Will you buy the Dunu Vulcan 2? Well, I would say people who have a very certain set of genres can go for the Dunu Vulcan 2. Mainly genres which is revolving around singing with lesser instrument focus overall. And that too, that singing should be female songs, because if you have male songs, that male songs tends to go back, some different instruments tends to come in the front. So I would say that this is more towards, let's say, jazz, or else more towards other kind of genres, except for the ones that I'm certainly listening to. So I go for rock and I go for pop and things like that. But even then, for pop, female pop will be something good in the Vulcan 2. People who should go for the Vulcan 2 is people who's having a very select set of songs, people who wants to listen to more of the vocals, people who wants tasteful bass but not too much bass can go for the Vulcan 2. People who cannot go for the Vulcan 2 is people who wants to be a bass head, because the bass response in here feels a bit less for my particular taste, and although it's done well, I'm not finding it to be good in that sense. And people who has a lot of different genres, because I don't find the Vulcan 2 to be an all-rounder IEM in general. And with all that said, what is my rating for it? Well, as a package, I'm a basshead. I'm not finding the Vulcan 2 to be my type of taste. And it's also very specific to the kind of songs that you'll be listening to. It's kind of different. The overall experience is nice. The songs probably something in your library that you would like and you want to listen to. So with all that said, I will give the Vulcan 2 a 3 out of 5 for my particular preferences, because it's not matching to the preferences that I want. But it is good because in terms of unboxing and the luxurious packaging and all the accessories that you're getting with it, it's amazing. That's pretty much it for my review of the Vulcan 2. What do you like about the Vulcan 2? Are you using the Vulcan 2? What are your particular responses to it? Do let me know down in the comments below. And as usual, if you do enjoy my videos, give me a thumbs up. If you don't enjoy my videos, give me a thumbs down. I don't know. And as usual, I will see you in the next review. Peace.